So before I start this video, I just want to say that this video is fair use, so all the media used in this video is used for criticism, review, or in a transformative way. All the information I present is public information, and everything else is alleged, a joke, or just my opinion. So it's been happening for a while, but a lot of Twitch streamers have been getting DMCA strikes, and this was like a huge, well-known problem within the community. And it was mostly for like music issues, like if people were playing music in the background, even if it was just a few seconds, they would get struck down. And obviously a lot of streamers were upset about this because they had to take down a bunch of clips from many years ago just because they started getting strikes for playing a few seconds of music, even if it was in the background, even if the music was like a part of a game that they were playing. But now there's been like another issue with DMCA strikes because Nintendo started issuing strikes to Twitch streamers for playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and apparently it was because they were playing it early, like before it had come out, so they obviously assumed that they had pirated the game or whatever, despite the fact that they were the ones who let the game out in certain areas of the world, including Japan and Australia. They also sent a cease and desist to the Big House, which is a Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament, and they did this because they used this thing called Slippy, which essentially just allowed them to play the game online because they obviously couldn't do it in person. And they released a statement saying, "The Big House is heartbroken to share we've received a cease and desist from Nintendo of America to cancel our upcoming online event. We were informed we do not have permission to host or broadcast the event primarily due to the usage of Slippy. Sadly, all the competitions are affected. We are forced to comply with the order and cancel the Big House online for both Melee and Ultimate. Refund information will be sent shortly. We apologize to all those impacted." And a lot of people are upset because it's just silly. You're striking people down for playing the game just because they happen to get the game early, and you're sending cease and desists out because people want to play your game for a tournament, despite the fact that that tournament is very unlikely to shed a bad light on your game in any sort of way. So the second thing I want to talk about is Zoe Laverne, and I mentioned this live stream in my last video where I talked about her, but I just want to go through it again because there's a lot of things that I want to say. There's also another live stream that she did very recently, and I want to respond to that as well. But before I get into that, I just want to talk about her bond bracelet, because she and the minor that she was having an intimate relationship with have been seen in their TikToks wearing bond bracelets. And if you don't know what they are, they're basically bracelets that are like connected to each other, and when the other person taps it, the other person who wears the other bracelet will know that that person is like communicating with them through like tapping their bracelet. And the app that comes with the bracelet includes an encrypted messaging feature, so they could very much be still communicating with each other and nobody else would be able to tell what they're saying because the messages are encrypted. She also had a friends only TikTok, since you could like set your TikToks to like public, friends only, or private. She had like a friends only one leaked. It was essentially a TikTok that responded to a comment, and the audio that was used said, "It's the way I am until I fucking die. If you don't like it, then die first." So she's essentially just joking about her creepy behavior with a 13-year-old boy with her friends. There have also been multiple cases of TikTok taking down videos of Zoe Laverne, like videos that report on the situation and just like bringing light to the situation and letting people know that she is a predator.
I really think that TikTok and any other platform that she is on needs to remove her immediately so that she can never do this to another person again. And I truly believe that she needs to be investigated. I am unsure if any legal investigations are taking place right now, but I sincerely hope that they are, because this is serious.
So I didn't actually show the live stream in my last video where I talked about this, but this is the live stream that I'm going to essentially respond to first because she says a lot of dumb shit.
In this situation, considering you as influencers know how bad it hurts to be hated and get loads of hate every day, and you know how it makes you feel. To come at me for my actions and my decisions in life isn't always the best way to go.
So there's a difference between people trolling and just hating on celebrities for the sake of hating on celebrities or influencers, and getting called out for pedophilia. And I love how she's like, "Stop judging me for my actions." What are we supposed to judge then? The fuck? You're a parent? You don't want people to judge your actions, the things that make you exactly who you are.
Instead of putting me down for my choices and my mistakes that I've made in life, try to just tell me what I did wrong.
You engaged in a romantic relationship with a 13-year-old boy. I thought we made that pretty clear, but if you want a little bit more clarity, you engaged in a romantic relationship with a minor.
Life is too short to worry about things that have gone on and things that have been done and said.
Well, has it been done? Has it been finished? Or are you guys still communicating with each other? Because that's still a very likely possibility. Also, we're worrying because you're a predator who's getting no repercussions. Like, yes, she's getting backlash, but ultimately, she's faced no consequences to her actions.
We all need to put our big girl panties on, our big boy panties on, and realize that life is freaking short.
Yeah, life is short, so why not groom a kid? Miss Girl Zoe, you need to put your big boy panties on and start going for boys your age.
And you could say bye and be immature all you want, but It really just shows your true colors, and it really just shows you as a person. And all I know is that when I get older and I have kids, I will never let my kids act the way that some of you do. And I know that if a lot of your parents knew how you talked online and knew how you treated people, y'all probably wouldn't even have phones.
Well, my hope is that when you get older and have kids, one, it'll be with somebody of age and your child's father isn't like 15 years older than them. And two, that you won't let them date a predator. She also just says a lot of dumb shit along the lines of like, you guys are so mean to me and that's so much worse than taking advantage of somebody who could literally be an 8th grader. I also love how disgusted she seems with other people for calling her out for being a creep, but she doesn't seem that grossed out or doesn't see anything wrong in literally preying on somebody who hasn't developed enough to fully understand the implications of what they and Zoe were doing. She also said a lot of shit like, oh, I'm Zoe and that's why everyone's mad and nobody's gonna take my side because I'm Zoe fucking Laverne and everyone just wants to hate me, but I'm going to therapy and I just want you guys to know that I am getting better. And it's like, yeah, people aren't taking your side because your side is wrong, both legally and morally. And it's funny that she is still continuing to refuse to take accountability for this. And she was saying shit like, oh, I'm going to therapy to better my mindset. Okay, so you're going to therapy to like make yourself feel better, not to fix your attraction to kids. There was just a lot of instances within that live stream where she just tried to paint herself as the victim, and I'm so confused as to like how her fans just fall for it. Like, I understand that they're kids, but it's just so blatantly obvious that she's in the wrong and so blatantly obvious that she's a shitty person. And I just find it concerning that there are young impressionable kids who are looking up to Zoe and idolizing Zoe and potentially turning out like Zoe.
Just because I'm an influencer doesn't mean I don't have feelings.
Just because a 13-year-old fan thought they wanted to date you doesn't mean that they were right or that you should have allowed it to happen.
No, I've changed, I swear. You know how they do?
Like you're doing right now.
I won't expose you, I'll let you speak your mind and speak your opinion and it'll stay between us. Never again is that happening.
Maybe if everyone is constantly trying to get you for no fucking reason, you're the problem. And if you can get exposed from just like talking to somebody and just like speaking your mind, then you are definitely the problem. So that was the live stream that I mentioned in my last video, but she recently went on a live stream on her TikTok and just said more dumb shit.
Did you actually groom? No. Please look up what grooming is, and please stop coming to my live calling me that. You guys, like, genuinely, like, do not know your facts. Like, you think you do because you, like, listen to YouTube videos and all these accounts, but like you don't even know what actually happened.
The definition of grooming is when a sexual or other kind of predator sets the stage for abusing another, such as a child or other person. This includes building trust, which may include giving them gifts and alienating them from their primary caregivers, circles, or family and community. It also sets up a power dynamic by using fear or dependency. Now, this boy was already a fan of Zoe Laverne when he started to see her, so there was already a power dynamic because he was idolizing Zoe, and there was already trust because he was idolizing Zoe. He had clearly been alienated from his parents because in the screenshots it was clear that his parents weren't aware that he was engaging in a romantic relationship with an adult.
Even told you guys that didn't happen, yet you still use that because I'm Zoe. But if it was anyone else, it'd be a different story.
Right, because the literal child is the one that is supposed to be holding responsibility to recognize when they're being groomed. It's not you as the adult to refrain from grooming. Also, nobody would have been excused from backlash or criticism for being a predator. You're just mad that you're getting criticism and backlash for being a predator. Again, if everyone is out to get you, if the public is just out to get you, maybe you're the problem.
Grooming is where someone above the age of 18 sexually puts their hands on someone intending to sexually assault them or intending to have sex or commit sexual acts with a minor, which is not what was intended.
Here's Zoe.
Eric, shut the fuck up. And the most that happened was a kiss. That was all. People kiss. Oh no. What a big deal. If this was fucking Avani Gregg, Charlie D'Amelio, oh, we love her. It's okay. Acceptance, forgiveness, peace, love, and rainbows. But because it's Zoe Laverne, the star of TikTok, y'all are having an issue.
No, it really isn't. That's not what grooming is. Grooming is basically the process of setting somebody up to be sexually assaulted or statutory raped. And it is done by convincing them that that's what they want or that it's okay. Also, in response to the Charlie thing, 1, she's 16. 2, No, anybody who did this would have been criticized. You were criticized. Tony Lopez was criticized. Darby Vanity was criticized. Onision was criticized. You are not that special. Nobody is just focusing on you because everybody's obsessed with you. We are focusing on you because you are a shitty person who took advantage of a 13-year-old boy. And thirdly, Charlie lost over 1 million followers just for being bratty. You think people wouldn't be up in arms if she was a fucking predator? You are so much more entitled than her, and you haven't been cancelled for being bratty yet, so let me know when that happens. So taking some time away from that bullshit, Elliot Page recently came out and he released this on Instagram. Hi friends, I want to share with you that I am trans. My pronouns are he, they, and my name is Elliot. I feel very lucky to be writing this, to be here, to have arrived at this place in my life. I feel overwhelming gratitude for the incredible people who have supported me along this journey. I can't begin to express how remarkable it feels to finally love who I am enough to pursue my authentic self. I've been endlessly inspired by so many in the trans community. Thank you for your courage, your generosity, and ceaselessly working to make this world a more inclusive and compassionate place. I will offer whatever support I can and continue to strive for a more loving and equal society. I also ask for patience. My joy is real, but it is also fragile. The truth is, despite feeling profoundly happy right now and knowing how much privilege I carry, I am also scared. I'm scared of the invasiveness, the hate, the jokes, and the violence. To be clear, I am not trying to dampen a moment that is joyous and one that I celebrate, but I want to address the full picture. The statistics are staggering. The discrimination against trans people is rife, insidious, and cruel, resulting in horrific consequences. In 2020 alone, it has been reported that at least 40 transgender people have been murdered, the majority of which were Black and Latinx trans women. To the political leaders who work to criminalize trans healthcare and deny our right to exist, and to all those with a massive platform who continue to spew hostility towards the trans community, you have blood on your hands. You unleash a fury of vile and demeaning rage that lands on the shoulders of the trans community, a community in which 40% of trans adults report attempting suicide. Enough is enough. You aren't being cancelled, you are hurting people. I am one of those people, and we won't be silent in the face of your attacks. I love that I am trans, and I love that I am queer. And the more I hold myself close and fully embrace who I am, the more I dream, the more my heart grows, and the more I thrive. To all the trans people who deal with harassment, self-loathing, abuse, and the threat of violence every day, I see you. I love you, and I will do everything I can to change this world for the better. And while on the topic of the transgender community, there was recently a Twitter thread that blew up that reads, "Pokimane is tough. Pokimane server has a girl's role, but apparently you can't get it unless you verify by talking in VC. I asked a mod what happens if you're trans, and they just straight up said I couldn't get the role. Literally just got banned for saying I'm trans in the server." And there's also a screenshot from the Discord that says, "Unfortunately you can't. Wasn't our idea, it was Poki's idea that girls only." To which Chris responds with, "Yeah, and I am a girl. A trans girl." Pokimane ended up responding to this thread because it blew up on Twitter, and she says, "I'm looking into this with said mod and proof of the conversation that was held between them, and will contact Chris directly to resolve this and to assure she is welcomed properly. Anyone in my community should be welcomed with open arms no matter what gender, sexuality, and I'm so sorry if anyone was made to feel otherwise, especially by our mod. That is not okay, and I'll make sure it's handled properly. Furthermore, I've unmodded the person in question. Again, I'm so sorry for this interaction, and it's not something I reinforce or a rule of mine, and is far from representative of my personal opinions, as I truly support the trans community." The person who originally posted the thread said she unmodded the mods and re-added Chris, which I'm happy about, but if she stands by her word of supporting trans rights, she should ban the many transphobes in her server as well. Lastly, I understand the term TERF was probably not the one I should have used, and I apologize. Like I said, I never expected so many people to see this. I also keep seeing this being said along with screenshots, but other people saying the mod was banned, so I'm not sure. Only issue is allegedly she remodded the anti-trans mod. Some responses to this situation included, "Out of curiosity, why is there a girl's role anyway? So the creepy simp men who follow her know how to prey on. Or to give girls a bit of priority. Give the girls priority? Why do they need priority over other people? Also, being trans should not keep you from getting the role. That is absurd. They shouldn't even be gender roles to begin with." Remember on her story when she wrote something like, "Boys, girls, attack helicopters"? That's when I knew. And the last thing I want to talk about is also a Pokimane related thing, because a Twitter user basically publicized their relationship with Pokimane and the issues that they had with her, and included a screenshot of a conversation in Twitter DMs between them and Pokimane's manager, in which he said a bunch of shit in regards to Pokimane saying the N-word, including, "Pokimane is a POC because she is 75% African. They literally said this bullshit, LMAO. Bruh, she doesn't face anything I face every day when I wake up. She isn't being stereotyped. She's not called the N-word. She has a whole white privilege. Offline TV, fuck you for even trying to say we live the same life because she happened to be born in Africa." So that's all I have for you guys today. If you liked this video or if you liked me, make sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't like me, make sure to get in contact with my teachers because I bet you have a lot in common. And make sure to stay safe and stay hydrated.